Hello, welcome to day 3 of the virtual workshop series, New Narratives for retired kindergarten through 12th grade administrators and teachers who want to create impact and income on their own terms. Yes, we always talk about on their own terms. That's minus the overwhelmness, minus the grind, minus the politics, and minus sacrificing your health, minus sacrificing time with your family. So it is continuing to create impact beyond retirement. This is a virtual workshop series for people who are near retirement and you're planning for that transition. And it is for people who've already retired. It is also for people who've already started a business, but it is not at 6 figures yet. And you want to know what are the secrets to get there. This is a business building event, and it talks about empowering other educators, thousands of educators. So we're reaching educators beyond our state, beyond our county, beyond our school district. That's why we call it an online business, because there are no boundaries for you how far people will be impacted from you. You are going to build those income streams for you to basically have time flexibility to travel with to spend time with your grandkids and just to savor, peacefulness if you don't want to do anything because you've earned it. You have earned it. But the thing that I keep reminding um, our participants, our attendees, my friends, my colleagues who are educators, is that someone is depending on your wisdom, your experience, and the you. You've spent decades perfecting that. So whether you are going to impact a struggling teacher, a struggling principal, a school district who may just need a little bit of help, support to get to that next level, they need you. They need you to step into that next level of life. So, again, welcome to day number 3 of the New Narrative Workshop Series. And we will be here for an additional 7 days, and we'll slow walking it. We are slow walking it. If you're like me, when I first started transitioning into the entrepreneurial um, site, there were just so many terms and so many strategies and techniques that were foreign to me, and they were saying the terms, and I was okay, okay. And as an adult learner, sometimes we're hesitant about raising our hand and say, "What do you mean about that?" I'm not really sure. So we just listen quietly to get the whole concept. So we've decided to slow walk it. And especially during this busy season, we're doing it in the middle of the day, hopefully during your lunch period, where you can continue with your other routines of the day. And if you can't get away, watch the replays. We're sending out the recordings every evening by 6:30. So just schedule some time to watch it in the evening and then write some notes, and you can respond to me, DM me in the Facebook Messenger, or you can send me a message over LinkedIn, or if you or respond to an email that we've sent out. We want to make sure that at the end of this series that you have clarity about what this is, because we're going to make you an offer to work with us. This is giving you an overview of what's available, what's optional. You don't have to settle for whatever people offer to you. You can lead your imagined life, whatever it is. And we all are unique, so we all have different things that we desire. Like some people like to watch the sunrise, some people prefer the sunset, some people prefer the beach, some people prefer the mountains, some people like to ski, and some people like the warm weather. We all are unique, and that's what makes us different. That's why there are never too many coaches, consultants, or trainers out there, because we're all different. We all bring a unique perspective. But the thing is, when someone works with us, they all will be transformed because we have had unique experiences in our career. So last night, if you were with us yesterday, we asked you to take some time to really look at the 5 areas to see which one resonate with you. Now, if you're thinking what 5 areas, and this is your first day with us, they're coach, trainer, mentor, consultant, and staffing strategist. And if you weren't with us earlier, you don't have the recording, just be sure to let us know. We're glad to send them over to you. And in the recordings, you'll get the special definitions for each one of those. But the thing is, what we're talking about is not just being a, a coach, a mentor, a trainer, or staffing strategist or consultant. We're talking about being the CEO of a staff training business, being the CEO of a K-12 staff training business. And I need to put that in there because, when I started, I attracted a lot of people who actually weren't K-12, but they wanted to motivate their business. They wanted to uplift it and get to another level. However, we worked with them and they did have success. But my heart, my core is dedicated to K-12 because I really want us to make a difference. I really want to stop the inappropriate chatter around education. I don't want us to accept that there's a mass staff exit as our destiny. We can do something about that, and we can bridge the gap with successful, high quality educators from every level, reaching back into the school system um, to help make a difference on your own terms, and you're making impact and income. Now, speaking of income, today that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk more about income, and not just income, but making a 6-figure income. Now, if you're an administrator, you probably have made that or are making that. And there may be some people who haven't made that, but we're not talking about that only. This is in addition to what you will receive in retirement. This is your business. How do you use your business as an additional stream of income and on your own terms without having the piecemeal jobs that you are not totally aligned, not their jobs that are not totally aligned with what you want to do, and the schedules aren't flexible for you to lead the life that you want to live. And that is so important. That's so important. So we're talking about income. And I know as a nonprofit, educators, we were taught, not officially, we're nonprofit and we love what we do. And we will often say, that's okay. That's okay. I love it. I love the children. I love education. I will do it for free. But, I shared with you all yesterday how when I first went into administration as an assistant principal, really had to go into the grocery stores and put things back on the shelf. And I could not tell the cashier that, you know what, I'm an educator. I love educating the boys and girls. I love pouring into the lives of the children. Can you just let me get everything that I need along with my expensive baby formula? No, I cannot do that. And so that's one of the things that we talk about, that as an educator, it's okay to accept, what do I want to say on that? You're worth it. It's okay to accept a salary that gives you compensation for all of the years of experience that you've had, for all of your expertise, for your unique personality, for the transformation that you will make. It is okay. It is okay to do that, because you know what? In the school system, when I was there, we want assistance, we want help. So we do pay that price. The offer, the that you will ask for is not unusual. It's being done every day. And sometimes it may not be from someone as capable as you are. However, they know how to market really well. They know how to use the words to influence the administrators that they are the one. So that's what we help you to do. How do you develop your words to make sure that people know that you are the one? You are the one who can make a difference. And you know, the other thing that is that, you know, that I dealt with was people were going to say, I'm bragging and I don't want to brag. But there's a fine line between marketing and telling people that you exist and telling people what you can do and bragging. There is a fine line. If you're silent, then no one knows that you are open for business. Right? Put that in the chat. No one knows I'm open for business if I don't tell them. So you have to tell them. You have to let them know. Put it in the chat. I'm open for business. I will be open for business. I want to be open for business. I want to make a difference. I'm worth it. I can transform those novice educators. I can help them get to the next level. And when we start saying all of those things to ourselves, we start to believe it. There are so many nuances that we don't think about. I know a friend of mine, very close, her daughter just started teaching. And I said, make sure to get her a mentor. She's in another state. I told her parents, make sure to get her a mentor and help her to create a schedule to not take the bag home every night. How many of you were the bag people, like riding the bag in the car? We always want to check papers or in administration sign documents. We just can't seem to keep up with the paperwork. And I told the parents of this first year teacher, I said, I remember my first year teaching, I could not keep up with correcting all the papers. Now, if you're an elementary teacher, put that in the chat, elementary teacher, because we specialize in it all. So you had to check papers for math, for language arts, the mighty spelling test every Friday, the language, the reading, the science, the social studies, the health. So that is 8 different areas. And if you have 20 to 30 students, there has to be a way to make sure that's done. So we don't think about how do you make sure all of the grades are in? How do you get enough grades? What do you do for assessments? And those are minor things for a first year principal. However, when you move to every seat, there are things that we don't think about. There are things that we don't think about that the your experience will help move a novice administrator, novice teacher, novice educator, just by helping them to get more organized, to help them to think through things, giving them a different thought process, because the thought process that they had in the classroom is going to be different now when they have to think about a whole school. The thought process that you have at a whole school is different than when you're looking at a whole district, when you're looking at a community, when you're looking at communicating with the school board, and each school board members have different personalities, and then being aware of all the policies that affect your decisions. And it's just things that we don't think about, and you can make it easier so that those people don't get to the level of frustration and say, you know what, today's it. It's my last day. I'm leaving. I can't take it anymore. And a lot of times people say, these kids. And sometimes it is the kids. Sometimes it is outside situations that are beyond the educator's control. But sometimes it's the way that we respond that will enhance it, or I would say escalate it, or will make it calmer. And just knowing how to do that and having someone to contact and run things by is what you do as a coach, as a mentor, as a consultant. You're that person who they can feel safe with. You're the non-judgmental person who they won't feel they won't feel unprofessional, just sharing and venting, and you're listening and you're calm. And then you can offer some advice, or you can steer them with questions to help them come up with the answers to their questions. That is needed in the educational system. And it doesn't matter how many box programs we buy, it doesn't matter how many motivational speakers we get in, there is no substitute. And I'm going to say that again. There is no substitute for the human spirit. There is no substitute for the high quality effectiveness and experience of a human being. When someone is in that classroom, in that office, out in the fields, there is no substitute for the human spirit. That's where we come in. That's where we come in. So we're going to talk about today is all about three proven strategies to turn your experience into a six-figure income. Three proven strategies to turn your experience into a six-figure income. It's a golden opportunity. And if we can get beyond thinking about the money part or thinking about accepting six figures or seven figures, because believe it or not, there are companies out there who target school districts, school systems, and they are 8 and 9 figure companies. They're selling a box program, they're selling a system, and what happens is they go to conferences, and every year they put someone on stage in front of superintendents and school boards, and they share testimonies of how it worked, and the administrators leave the conferences sold out. That is what I need. That's the next thing for my district. And you may be sitting there thinking, I could have done that, or I could have shared what I've done. I've got the answers there, but you weren't on stage and you didn't share it, and no one knew it, right? I know that happened to me many times, many times. I was like, how did they get on that stage? How do you do that? I want to do what they did. How? Because I know I can make a difference. And so the thing that I had to get over was the fear of failing at something new. As an adult learner, I knew that I was an effective administrator and teacher, but now really just getting out there and telling people, that meant I had to act like I'm bragging. I've got to post on Facebook or LinkedIn, but no one will know. If you look on Facebook and LinkedIn, how many people are popping up all the time? Educational companies, things about every type of software. They're popping up, they're popping up, they're popping up. And if you look at that little word sponsored right under their names, that means that they paid for that. That's an ad. It's a paid advertisement. So that's why so many of us are liking it. We like it. We like this person. We like that person because we see them so many times. We've never been to one of their conferences. The only thing that we see them is the only thing that we know about them is we can go to their website, which is one thing you'll need. We can go to their website, read about them, read about the testimonials. We can see a video about them, which is one thing you can do. That's how you know about them. You may have never gone to their conferences. And the other thing is sustainability. They've been around a long time. You've heard about this person for years, over and over and over, but you've never experienced them. And that's the difference between you and them. They are a known brand. Hear that word? Brand. They are a known brand because they advertise. People know about them. They tell the story of their story. They share their story. And that's the thing that we have been conditioned over time. No one told us, but because of some of the things that we experience within the school system and the communities, we are a little, I'll use one of my grandmother's terms, bashful about putting ourselves out there, right? But how will people know about us? How do you become one of those well-known brands that people know about? How do you have a website that people go to and read? How do you get testimonials from people who um, you've transformed their lives and they've given you an explanation of where they were before they started with you and now where they are after they've started with you. That's what being a CEO is about leadership. One of the main things that you'll have to do as a CEO, as a business owner, is you have to lead your company and you have to make CEO decisions that will make your company visible, make it profitable, uh, attract the right type of clients, let people know that you are available for work. Yes, so those are the things that are different as you are the CEO. And in case you're thinking, okay, now Dr. B, you're telling us all of this, then if this is your first time hearing about me or coming in contact with me, you may be thinking, all right, so how do I use the things that you're saying to turn my knowledge into lucrative strategies? How do I turn my experiences into a new step, a new level in my lifestyle? How do I have allow other people into my personal space and for me to share my secrets? How do I actually just turn my experience into a six-figure income? How do I do that? What are those strategies? You said you're going to talk about 3 proven strategies. Well, I am going to talk about those proven strategies. And the reason why I want to talk about those strategies is because in retirement, um, well, at least when I was retiring, even though I knew that my income would be less, I didn't realize how much. And your income could be at least 30 to 50, 55% less in retirement. Yes, you could still make a pretty decent income. But if you have been accustomed to living a lifestyle that is based on that salary and you don't want to change your lifestyle, then you should be aware that there are some adjustments to be made. And that's why we talk about lead your imagined lifestyle. You spend all this time, all of these decades in making sure that you provided high quality service for youth and for adults. But now, as your reward, you're going to have to downsize. It doesn't seem it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem like a gift that you deserve. It doesn't seem as though that's the way you should have to accept to live. Now, if you want to, that's your choice, but not as a necessity. Not as a necessity. So, one of the things that I did was I left I left education early. I had done three decades. However, I thought I was going to continue. Actually, had 3 more years left on my contract, but because of health issues that caused burnout, I left early and did several things. But as I said, my soul wasn't satisfied until I got back to education. And as I've done things that have happened to me over the years, I share it with people because, we think, well, in my state, your benefits for life insurance and health insurance come out. You can choose to continue that throughout retirement. However, the life insurance is a different story, and that's one of the reasons why I went into educating people about life insurance and what are the possibilities and what happens during retirement. And so when we look at that income that you can receive, that six-figure income that you can receive from your own business, you can do other things. Like, say, for instance, if you have a mortgage or if you don't have a mortgage, you can buy a home and use the funds, that extra funds from your business to pay off your mortgage early. So if you're paying a mortgage of actually, you know, 2,000, 1,800 to say $5,000 a month, now that becomes income that you have for something else because you just go ahead and pay that mortgage off in a year or two or faster, depending on your situation and what you want to do, using the monies from a business that you created. And I'm going to talk about how you can create a business and have paying clients within six months and have a six-figure income within 12 months. Yes, you can have a six-figure income within 12 months, taking your time and building your business out. Some of the other things that you can do with that is we talk a lot about, well, I do, because I have two grandchildren, spending time with your grandchildren. I created a travel account because both of my own children live out of state. And I don't want to depend on credit cards if I get a call in the middle of the night and there's an emergency and I want to travel there. I don't want to depend on a credit card for hotel, air flight, meals. So I have a travel account for my children. It's called, my children's travel account, the boys' travel account. So there's a certain amount that I just put there every month or whenever, that allows me to have that flexibility, that if I am needed, I am not at the mercy of them to say, okay, when can you send for me? Well, I need a little help, or calling family and friends to help me to do that. Or if I need to send for, someone else, if my parents were alive. Some of us are lucky to still have parents, and that's one thing that I address too, is maybe your aging parents have some um, different challenges. I've experienced family members who've needed hospital beds, who've needed walkers, who've needed decks built, the walking ramps built. So you have extra monies to help your family or aging parents to live an optimum lifestyle in their elderly years with comfort, not waiting on them to the first of the month or whenever they're getting an extra amount. You can be there to help them in their later years. So these are some things that you may not think about, because a lot of times, well, we think about, okay, I don't need the money because I can pay my bills. And I've heard that. I'm not just making that up. I can handle that. But what about the extra things that come as a strain to your budget? Like, if you just have a budget that takes care of what you need, what about other things, other medical requirements or challenges that you had? I've had my fair share since what caused me to go in retirement, and things that have happened afterwards that caused me to live a different lifestyle. Thankfully, I have beyond that, but those were challenges and medical coverages that you get a certain percentage on your health insurance, but then there are some things that you have to cover yourself. And then always giving back to the community without it affecting your household budget. How do you help charitable organizations beyond your budget, things that are very dear to your heart? It's a powerful way to be available, to give back, and to make a difference. And I always say that there are projects that you may have always wanted to do, that you weren't able to do because you didn't have the time, because you're always busy. Now you have the time and you have the flexibility to do it. Many of you have children in college or grandchildren in college, and you want to help toward the tuition or help them to, for me, each year it was about decorating the rooms, getting all of the dorm things separated and, purchase and getting them set up for success, just getting them set up for success without affecting your budget. So all of those are different ways that your business can impact your household. Those are different ways that you can create income beyond retirement. And as you start with retirement, preparing as you are in your business, because I get a lot of people who say, well, I have my business, and I was one. Actually, I consulted for excuse me, I consulted for 7 years part-time while I was still full-time in the school system. So it was quite a change now, just from a part-time consultant being a CEO of a business and creating it for sustainability. Now, as I share my screen, I'm going to say that many of you know that I've been in education from the classroom to the state level to the district office and retired as a superintendent. And after nearly 3 decades in education, I left, and I left from, health challenges. But I decided after some time that I still wanted to make an impact in the educational system. So I started consulting, coaching, mentoring, and then as I learned from one of my positions before, being a trainer, a national trainer, flying out on Sundays or Monday evenings and not returning to the end of the week, that I wanted to impact nationwide, but I didn't want to be away from my home for a whole week to do that. Because basically, I would train in a different city or a different state, drive to the next location, or get on a plane and go to the next location. And while it sound fun, it wasn't. I wasn't able to take advantage of those locations because it was the grind. Boom, boom, working 9 to 4, getting evaluations and moving on to the next location. So I figured out when I went back to the school system that I wanted to impact nationwide. So I learned how to coach and consult online. I invested in my professional development. And that's another thing that I always talk about. Because when you're in the school system, we're a little spoiled, right? Our professional development is paid for, our reimbursements for meals, mileage, travel, conference registration. We just turn that all in and get reimbursed. Well, you can do the same thing in your business. When you get your business up and running, you can get reimbursed, or use your own business card and charge those expenses within your business. And then at the end of the year, it's a tax write-off. Yes. So all of that is a part of the CEO part. But as I was saying, I learned that I wanted to make a national impact, but I did not want to do it live in the place. Now, while I do go and I do travel, and a lot of times I will do a tour and go visit clients individually just to touch and feel. Like I said, there's no substitute for the human spirit, even offline and live, just to be able to touch the person. But for the business model, I created an online staff training business. And after doing it for so long and I kept hearing the chatter about the mass staff exits, I said, I can make a difference. But if I trained other people, high quality educators, wow, what a difference we can all make. So that's what this is about. So I created an online institution, Change Narrative Coach University, as a platform to create and store programs and training materials to train other people on how to train nationally so that we can attack this issue together. I'm going to say that again, so that we can address the challenges in K-12 education together. I'm one person, but if we all lock arms together and create online businesses to reach schools and districts nationally, it won't take us generations to change the trajectory of education. And we do it on our own terms. We're not waiting on a company to send us someplace or to require us to work a certain amount. We sit down and we negotiate that. So what we do is we show you how to do that, and I'm going to show you a blueprint in a few minutes of how that looks. But after about 18 months of coming back to doing this, I replaced my superintendent's income. And it wasn't at a fast pace. I was working at a slow pace. I was learning the vocabulary. I was learning the systems. I was learning, working with other staff members on, well, working with contracted staff members on how to get things done. But I developed that online training model because I really want to help other K-12 teachers and administrators to design your own business from your expertise, whatever your level is, whatever your level is, design that business so that you can empower others and so that you can lead the life that you desire. If you want to get to 6 figures, if you want to get to 5 figures, now 5 figures is $99,000. 6 figures is $100,000 plus. And yes, I have colleagues who have gone higher, 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 higher. I have clients who have gone higher, who stuck with it, who worked and made the changes. And this is what it looks like. This is what the blueprint looks like. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll be wrapping up in a little bit. Okay, so this is our logo at the right. And the title of our university is Change Narratives Coach University. And this is Dr. B, me. I am the CEO and one of the lead trainers, mentors, and business strategists. Now, we talked about the 3 different strategies that will help you to get to 6 figures. These are the 3: coach, sales, leadership. We're going to talk about those a little bit more in depth. Coach, sales, leadership. This is a financial institution which has tuition. Just as I pay coaches and mentors, there is a tuition for us to show you how to make 6 figures. However, you will get that, ROI, return of investment, with just a few clients, or one client, or a few clients, if you follow our system. So the peacefulness is really the end result, because that is what you will get. The teachers, the administrators, the school district, the community, the school board members, when we have high quality people inside coaching and helping to create a calmness and create a way to keep high quality teachers, that is going to create peacefulness. Now, the workshop that you're in this week, New Narrative Virtual Workshop Series, is sponsored by Change Narrative Coach University. Now, we sponsored it because we wanted to get laser focused on the fundamentals of a smooth transition from being an educator to being a business owner. That's why we're slow walking it over 9 days. And I want you to commit not to miss one day, because when you do, and you don't watch the video, you're missing an important link. Some people will believe that it's not possible to build a successful business. And when we listen to the gurus out there, they make it sound easy, but you have to put the work in. You have to put the work in. And if you get a trainer, a coach, a mentor who can help you, just like in the school system, the results will come. The results will come because what we can do is we can get caught up in busy work, right? We can get it caught up in all the hype that's on the internet or what's going on, the motivational, I call them the motivational talk. And I'll say that, y'all, but y'all, I'm from South Carolina. I will say that, but I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker for youth, educators, the community, the churches. However, I know that the spirit needs that to get on fire. They need that motivation to get on fire. And that's what a lot of people will get caught up in, sitting online and watching all the motivation. But the transformation, that's in the follow up, that's in the follow through. The transformation is in the follow up and follow through. So we don't get caught up in just time wasting activity, because the time wasting activities will make us feel productive, but your business will not be profitable because there will be $0 coming in. You will not, it won't be impactful because you won't be working with anyone. You'll just be saying, I'm an educational consultant, and putting it out there, but you're not working on your business. You're not letting people know you're out there. There's so many things that we just need to do. Now let's talk about each one of these. These are our pillars here. As we said, the peacefulness is not just for them, the communities and the staff. Is for everyone. Like I said, it's for you as a retired educator. But what you do as a result of your work is help them to experience a peaceful environment. Because little do we think about, there are people in our schools and in our district who are going through traumatic events also, whether it was caused by an out of control student, an out of control parent, an out of control community members, or the politics of school board members. And people need to be able to feel that they're supported, to feel that they're listened to feel valued, that their traumatic event has value from an administrator, from a colleague. If we've lost a parent, if we've lost a child, if something is going on in our community, now, there's so many things happening with gun violence, with car accidents. We're losing students. Students are dying in fights. But those things have to be addressed. But how do we connect as a person to making sure that at each level, students, teachers, administrators, district level, everybody has that leadership, that leader to help them to move through that. And because they can't, or we can't be effective when we're going through a traumatic event. We have to go through that, recover, so that we can return to our full potential. That is why we do not negate the end result should be peacefulness. That's where we're working. We're working backwards to make sure that it is a peaceful environment. Nowadays, the word is culture, to affect the culture. And then the second one is coach. The coach. Not only the you coach, because we said we don't teach you how to coach, but to be successful as a new business owner, as a CEO, you need to be coachable. One thing that I learned being a business national business trainer, adult learners, it takes on a whole different role when they are afraid of starting something new, there's a risk for investing in their own professional development. There is a fear of failure, and there's a fear of what other people are going to say about me. So when you are coachable, you help to influence that possible change. You help to be a beacon of motivation yourself. You can be open, and that's what you teach the people who you work with, to be open and receptive to staff input. And as you are coachable, then you can transfer that to the people who you're going to coach. And then we have leadership. Leadership is two ways, because as leaders, they have to decide if they're going to bring us in as an outside entity to work within their school district. That's why we have to be like those gurus who go to conferences, who put out LinkedIn ads, who put out Facebook ads or Instagram. We have to be visible so that the leaders, as a leader of your company, everything is twofold. As a leader of your company, you make the decision to make my business visible so that people will know me. Then as the leaders who are still in place, you decide if you're going to hire an outside coach, outside mentor, consultant to come in, because depending on the size of the district, and seldom does any size district have someone in every area to address all of the challenges. While a lot of districts will address curriculum and instruction, but what about transportation? What about food service? What about exceptional education? What about the athletic department? All art. What about all of those areas? So you're unique. And when you build out your business from your unique area, then you are making a leadership decision to make yourself available to other people so that they'll know that you're out there. And the last one is one that many of us, I don't want to sound salesy. If it involves selling something, I don't want to be a part. Guess what? We sell all the time. We are selling and negotiating to our children, to our family members. We are negotiating and selling to our students, to teachers, to administrators. It's all about selling our point of view. So this is just a testimony from one of our clients who talked about what we were talking about on a Tuesday evening call, that it is not just about selling, but it is also about getting to sales faster, but it's only not the sales, but how do you treat your client? It's all about the service that we line out for our clients. What would that look like? How do we, not make sales an inappropriate word, but make sales a healthy part of being accessible, a healthy part of leading our desired life, a healthy part of having a profitable and sustainable business that not only for 1 year, 2 years, but decades down the line, nothing happens until people make sales. So sales is a part of it, just like you see the gurus online, just as you see if you're an administrator or teacher and you always experiencing another box program, another program coming into your district that you have to implement, there was a sale made. They're not in your district for free. So how can you replace those sales? How can you replace those sales? And one of the things, the main thing that we talk about that's available to you, and if you have questions, put them in the chat, or if you are watching it on a replay, you have a question, download me, but we'll be glad to respond. We talk about the Freedom Blueprint. The Freedom Blueprint is about retirement lifestyle, making impact, and entrepreneurship. And the Freedom Blueprint teaches coaching, leadership, and sales so that you can get to peacefulness. And I'm just slow walking you through this. We offer services, one-on-one consultations. Like if you don't want to be in a group, you can just, work with me, work with Change Narrative Coach Universal on a one-on-one basis. Or the new narrative is what we're talking about more this week. How do you brand in your business and come up with a conversion system? Talking about the foundation, the marketing, and enrollment, and that's what we're going to continue to talk about tomorrow. And then, if you have a business, how do you make it retention proof? How do you get it to 7 figures? So these are the three avenues. You may have a business and you want to get it to 7 figures, or you are starting fresh. You don't have a brand, just like the people who are branding themselves are being out there, and you need help to start with your foundation, your marketing, and your enrollment. Or you're like, you know what? I just want some one-on-one counseling. I just want to work some one-on-one days to see and get my feet and foot together. So that's where I want to start. So we're going to continue talking about the Freedom Blueprint. So we want you to commit to either showing up at 12 noon or commit to spend blocking out some time every evening after 6:30, because the recordings will be out after 6:30, and we can talk about how do you get your business to 6 figure sustainability and beyond. What is the next step? What do I do? What does it look like? Because this is we're just hitting the blueprint. We'll talk about the rest of it throughout the week. Because again, we're slow walking it, and we're not going to keep you past one. We're not going to keep you past one. We're a few minutes there right now, so we're wrapping up. And I like to leave the last couple of minutes for some questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. And if you are on the replay, you may respond to an email. You have 3 ways: respond to an email, you may respond to a message from LinkedIn, or you may respond to a message from Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, we don't have any way of knowing that you're there, but you can reach out to me, because as adult learners, sometimes we don't want we're private. We're very private. So, and I respect that, but we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Again, my name is Dr. Bertha Williams McCants. My business name is Dr. B. I created the new narrative as a way. This workshop series is a way to let you know the possibilities are out there. The possibilities for you to create income, impact beyond your retirement years. But the best part of that is you do it on your own terms. You do it on your own terms. And it is all a part of Change Narrative Coach University. We sponsor this workshop, and we'll continue to talk about the Freedom Blueprint. Tomorrow, our focus will be on day 4, time flexibility, designing your day to serve while enjoying your retirement. So if we have any members here who are challenged with that, I invite you to come on back tomorrow. Again, it's been my pleasure serving as your host. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.